Council tax is the biggest scam I have ever known.
Just got this year's council tax bill and honestly, I'm raging, and I knew I was going to be raging.
What the fuck are we paying for? Bottom of our road, we've got potholes that have been there for nearly 3 years, that are dangerous for cyclists, motorbikes and cars. What they're doing about it?
What the actual hell is going on in the UK? I actually think it gets worse and worse every single day. We're literally getting taxed left, right and centre. It actually getting to the point where I feel like most people are just working to survive.
Welcome back to Unfiltered Brits. Council tax is draining our wallets. And for what? Roads are falling apart, public services are bare bones, and local councils are somehow always broke. It's based on house prices from the 90s, but we're paying 2025 prices. And if you live in a cheaper area, you're likely paying more than someone in a mansion. Make it make sense. Hit like, subscribe if you're tired of funding failure, and let's hear what the people really think.
So we just got our council tax bill, and I've got to say, it just don't make any fucking sense. We live in West Yorkshire, and we live in quite a nice area, and it's gone up to £275 a month, okay? From £250 a month, which was ridiculous anyway, because the bin collections are fortnightly. Do you remember a few years ago when it used to be every week, and then they changed it to fortnightly, and now we're the time with the idea of changing it to monthly? What the fuck are we paying for? Bottom of our road, we've got potholes that have been there for nearly 3 years, that are dangerous for cyclists, motorbikes and cars. What they're doing about it? The police are pulling people over on the bottom road to make sure the cars are safe for the fucking roads. And there's big fucking holes in roads. I tell you what, I'm dodging potholes. I'm surprised I haven't been pulled over by police to say, oh, we pulled you over, your driving's a bit off, sir. Have you had a drink this afternoon? No, I'm dodging fucking potholes, dickhead. The drains are a mess, they don't clean them out anymore. So every time it rains, we end up having a flood on the street. Everything's overgrown with weeds and that. It's like that film, I Am Legend with Will Smith in. It's like an apocalypse has happened on some streets with all fucking overgrown shit. What they're spending money on? Oh, a monument. To show our solidarity for our community. How much was that? 35 million for a fucking rock. Set of dickheads, really are. And what's the local MP doing about it? She's doing fuck all. Oh, no, tell her lie. She's actually having a photo shoot outside a fucking flower shop with flowers she hasn't even bought. Look at me. I care about small businesses and the community and people's employment. Then she gives the flowers back and fucks off to the sandwich shop and repeats the same fucking shit and does it all through the community. And then locals are like, oh, she's doing a very good job, isn't she? No, the fake photo shoots. People, wake up, fuck's sakes. They had a refurb in their offices, right? New computers, new furniture, redecorated at the council office. It was done 2 years previous. Did they really need to spend that money on that? Unfucking believable.
Just received the new bill for my council tax for the year. Over £4,000 for the year. Over £4,000. We don't have any street lights where I live. We do all of our own maintenance in the road as well. We take care of all of the bushes, all of the trees, everything that's around us. We do that. The council doesn't have anything to do with it at all. So do you know what? I'm quite classy. So instead of swigging it straight out the bottom, I thought just grab a straw.
I pay £320 a month in council tax, and the bin men this month have refused to take my recycling because there's a cardboard box in it. We've had another letter saying if we want our green bin collected over summer, it's going to be an extra £20 a month. Every single government service in this country is absolutely shit. There's not one good thing, and the solution for most people in this country is still to tax us even more. People already paying 40-50% tax is not enough. Now if we just squeeze an extra 10-20% from everybody, somehow we're going to form into some British utopia. I really feel like this country is close to breaking point. There's just constant tax everywhere.
Council tax is the biggest scam I have ever known. I've just had my bill come through. Now, last year we was paying £155 a month for our property. This year, it's gone up to £166 a month, an £11 extra per month. I think that is absolutely, utterly disgraceful. So my local council get £1,086.11 per year from one residence, and they're all saying, oh no, we've got no money, we've skint, blah blah blah. Looks like it, love, looks like it. And we're in Derbyshire. There's a hell of a lot of houses in Derbyshire, and it's a big county. Then you've got Derbyshire Police, £195.73. I never see police round here. Never see them. Derbyshire Fire, that is to be expected, but they're only getting £62.27. They save lives. And then we've got Bolsover District Council. They get £139.30. This is for Bolsover District Council. This is who I pay my rent to. What the fuck? Oh, and then our local parish council get more than Bolsover District Council. They get £174.42. Total charge £1,657.83. What the fuck for? What the fuck for? I'm astounded at that. £166 a month for 10 months. It's beyond me, the amount it's gone up. My rent, bearing in mind, we are in a 4-bedroomed house. My rent has gone up from £119.68 to only £122.72, I think. So that's only gone up £3, which I was quite surprised at. I was expecting that to go up a hell of a lot more. But council tax are robbing bastards.
Right, I have a serious and genuine question to ask you, right? It's serious. But where does our council tax money go? Because I thought it was like for policing, like fire services, bin men. Now this is one topic I need to come on to. It is definitely not going on bin men and bin services, because our bin collection is Monday. Now, it was bank holiday Monday, but they were still collecting, because they collected our green bags. If you're in Swansea, you know. They collected our green bags, but with green bags also goes out black bags and food waste. Now, have they collected our black bags and our food waste? No, they haven't. And now, foxes, rats, birds are now ripping everyone's black bags open on the street, and there's rubbish everywhere. It's carnage, yeah, right? It's carnage. And I've emailed my housing officer and told him, like, nobody has collected our black bags. What's going on? Where's our council tax money go? And he's like, oh, I'll get hold of environmental health. I said, yes, please do, because there's rubbish everywhere. It's carnage, okay? But we're now Wednesday and it still hasn't been collected. Like, so where does our council tax money go?
So I've just nipped home on my dinner, and what beholds me is the new council tax bill for next year. And shock horror, it's gone up. Now, obviously, everybody has to pay the council tax bill, but I hate it. It's the one bill that I absolutely hate. And it goes up every single year. Like, I don't know, does it grind on anybody else? Because it does me. Like, things are expensive enough, and obviously things aren't going up on our side, but things on the other side are going up. Like, I just don't, it honestly infuriates me, should I say. I'm guessing everybody else's has gone up as well. I'm not sure how much of the increase, because I can't be bothered to even add it up, but I look at it right now and I can tell you that it's more than what it was before. So I usually stretch ours out for 12 months, but this year I'm thinking of doing the 10 months, but I don't know if it's worth it or not. I don't know. I just thought I'd pop on and share my frustration, which I'm sure obviously everybody has this frustration, but FML. Does it grind on anybody else? Like, it's this bill and also the TV licence bill that I hate paying. Like, we had this discussion, me and my partner did, of should we pay TV licence? We don't know why we should, but obviously we do. Well, actually, you know what? I hate paying every single bill, but it's life. I get it. It's what we go to work for, I suppose. But it's just, there's nothing on our side that's going up. Like, you know, wages, etc. But everything, every bill, water bill, council tax, TV licence, everything, and gas and electric, everything just seems to be going up. Like, it's just not fair.
So this morning we got our council tax bill, yeah? And do you know what? I think the council wants us to get on OnlyFans. I think they want to see me and my partner on OnlyFans. They want to see us do something strange for a piece of change. And personally, I just feel like if the council wants to see me skin out on the net, they should come to me direct. Don't go through the corners, because that bill, it's not adding up. Like, I can't lie, guys, I'm about to start monetizing this page. If you don't see that I'm doing, hello guys, come on, buy toilet roll. Like them aunties that are shouting on TikTok shop, yeah? Listen, know that it's the council tax that's done me in, because if you stay on it, I'm not understanding that bill, not one piece.
The house behind me is up for sale for £45 million. How much council tax do you think you have to pay on a £45
This is going to anger you.
Spoiler alert, it's going to anger you. But I'm also going to suggest that £45 million for this house is a bargain. Why is it a bargain? Well, it's a big old house around this part of London.
Oh, it's going to anger you. It is going to fucking anger you, right? Bearing in mind, council tax goes off your house valuation, so that's 45 million. And according to him, that's a bargain. 45 million, I'll take 2 of them. Pocket change. Fucking planet these people live on. Anyway, take a guess. Take a guess before I upload the next bit. Take a guess.
But what about council tax? Most family homes in the UK pay about £2,500 council tax, give or take a year. Bigger houses will pay over £4,000. And if you're in Oxford or Rutland or Nottingham or Dorset, I don't know why, but you'll pay nearly £5,000.
So this surely must be at least 10.
£45 million mansion and the £100 and £200 million mansions that surround it pay a year £1,800.
Of course they fucking do. I mean, you know what they're saying, you've got money, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Of course they do. £1,800. I pay more than that, and my house is nowhere near that price. It just sums up this country, doesn't it? Rich and wealthy, you get whatever you want, you don't pay anything for anything, and you do whatever the fuck you want. £1,800 on a £45 million house in council tax.
I'm standing outside One Hyde Park in Knightsbridge. This luxury apartment building is one of the most expensive places to live in the country. Harvey Nichols is just across the road, and Harrods is down there. Yet, this building has one of the lowest council tax rates in all of England. What's going on with that? A 5-bedroom apartment here is currently listed for £60 million on Rightmove, while 1-beds are going for £5 million a pop. The Westminster Borough has the second cheapest council tax rate in the entire country, ranging from £648.72 at Band A to £1,946.32 at Band H. Council tax in this country is regressive, meaning the poorest households pay the highest tax. The current council tax is set based on property values made in 1991, which is crazy. This is blatantly unfair, especially considering house prices in London have exploded in the last 3 decades. In Blackpool, a Band C property valued at £110,000 is taxed £2,126.41. That's more than a Band H property around here. So what's going on? Why do the wealthiest areas pay the least amount of council tax? Due to the density of the population and other means of raising funds, such as government grants and business rates, areas like Westminster don't rely as strongly on council tax. Yet the most deprived areas often see a higher demand for these public services, such as social care. This creates a feedback loop where councils are forced to keep their council tax rates high, while the most affluent areas keep theirs low. Campaigners are suggesting that the government scrap council tax and stamp duty altogether, replacing it instead with a proportional property tax.
They're suggesting that homes should be taxed at approximately 0.5% of their current value, with second homes taxed at 1%. This could raise up to £5 billion a year for the Treasury, exactly the same amount as Labour's cuts to disability benefits. This is similar to how it's done in the US. Someone living in a one-bedroom apartment in the Manhattan equivalent of One Hyde Park would pay the equivalent of £200,000 per year. That's more than 100 times the council tax rate here. In the spring statement, the Chancellor's cuts will harm the most vulnerable in society, but council tax reform would do the opposite. Obviously, it's a huge policy shift, and we'd have to be careful to make sure we're protecting people like cash-poor, asset-rich households.
Why is your council tax around £2,000 a year for your little two-bed house? Yet there are people living in mansions and even palaces with gold taps paying just over £1,000 a year. How does that make sense? Well, here's how the con works. Council tax bans are based on what your house was worth back in 1991. I'm not kidding. The year Nirvana was topping the charts and John Major was Prime Minister. They've never updated them. And why, you ask? Because the rich would have to pay more. And we can't have politicians upsetting their donors, can we? So, while your modest home crept up into a Band E, Lord Toffington's 10-bedroom estate is still a Band H, even though it's worth $5 million now. And guess what? Band H is the top band, even if your house is basically Downton Abbey. It's not just unfair, it's a scam. It's time to unfreeze these bans. It's time for the rich to pay their bloody fair share.
Hello there, I wonder if you can help me. My council bill seems to have gone up in price and I just wondered why. Due to the cost of living crisis and the general increase in rates, it seems to have increased in price. Right, okay, but my services seem to have gone down. That's so that it doesn't go up any further and you're saving me money in the long run. Right, if anything, you're doing me a favour then, fantastic, right. Because at the moment, I'm barely getting the bins picked up for that money. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? And also, just out of interest, what are you doing with the roads? Oh, nothing at all. The potholes are going to stay, because there's so many now that essentially it's just going to become one giant pothole. And hopefully that will resolve the problem. Right, got you. Okay, fantastic. And any of the extra money, where's that going? You're pissing it up the wall. Okay, fantastic. All right, well, thank you for your help then. Bye.
Council tax is a ruse by city councils to defraud the public, says Steve. Shall we debate on Facebook? But Steve, what would we debate? For there to be a debate, there has to be a disagreement. And here's where I am. I pay more council tax than anyone you know. This year, I'm paying £4,800 for what amounts to fortnightly bin collections. That is £300 up on last year. You know what? Council tax, we are paying more and more and more. And in return, we're getting less and less and less. Things that used to be included in council tax now has separate additional charges. And you know what isn't being cut back? The amount of money that's being paid to the very top people in councils. There are people who run councils who get paid more than the Prime Minister. There are golden hellos, there are golden parachutes, there are golden handcuffs, there are bonuses and expenses and awards and all sorts of extra cash, and it's all flowing from the council taxpayer to those people. I really appreciate your comments, but when I talk about the nonsense that soft shits and freemen and strawmen and whatever they call themselves, I'm not calling you any of those things, but when I talk about the nonsense that they come out with for legal loopholes, they all say the same thing. Do your own research. I've done my own research, and there's nothing, not one jot, not one iota of any validity or merit in anything they claim. I completely agree with you. It's a scam. And for the moment, it's a scam that we're stuck with. Thanks, as ever, for your comment.
What the actual hell is going on in the UK? I actually think it gets worse and worse every single day. We're literally getting taxed left, right and centre. It actually getting to the point where I feel like most people are just working to survive. Like, they're literally living paycheck to paycheck. They don't do anything else other than go to work because you literally can't afford it. Like, actually, what kind of life is that? Like, what are we all doing? I think a lot of people are opening their eyes to actually what's going on in the UK now. Like, they're actually realising that we've all been kind of brainwashed into believing that we go to school, get an education, get a good job, when in actual fact that just keeps us trapped. And the lifestyle isn't even good here. The weather is crap. Everybody is miserable. I am literally fed up of being here, getting to the point where I am thinking about going elsewhere. There actually isn't any such thing as work-life balance for most people. Now, let me know, has anyone left the UK? If you've left the UK, where have you gone? Where's better? I need some options.
Just got this year's council tax bill, and Honestly, I'm raging, and I knew I was going to be raging. We get 2 months off a year, right, where we don't have to pay council tax. We are paying council tax. It's just spread over 10 months rather than 12, right? Don't go fooling yourself. But we've had a 4.8% increase in council tax. An increase in what we have to pay, but a decrease in the services that we're going to receive. Because we live in rip-off Britain. I'm absolutely sick of it. I'm not surprised. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for the council tax letters, and it's just filled us with more rage. The country is on its arse. Yeah? We pay more, we get less. We pay more, we get less. Pay more, get less. Honestly, I am so wound up. People can't afford to put food in the bellies. They can't afford to heat the house, but they have to pay more council tax, because if you don't pay your council tax, you go to prison. Honestly, this country is messed up. I wouldn't mind paying more. I wouldn't mind paying more if the services that we got were to a decent standard. Down here in London, yeah, especially the borough of Croydon, load of rubbish. Honestly, it's a load of rubbish. The place is scruffy, it's filthy, the crime levels are high, you can't even get your bins emptied, right? You're paying more for emergency services, I know that, but apparently you wait about 6 hours for an ambulance these days, and then you're left on the floor of a corridor. Yeah, corridor in a hospital. That's what we're paying for, guys, that's what we're paying for. Honestly, this country sucks big buttholes, and I'm sick of it. Anyway, I'm off to calm down.
Council tax. About a year ago, just over a year ago, there's a video of Keir Starmer doing a speech and saying not a penny more on your council tax when the Labour government gets into power. Not a penny more. Well, councils, all sorts of councils, are now finalising their council tax bills for next year. I think we've received them in the next month, 6 weeks, and then we start paying them at the beginning of April. I believe that's correct. And apparently, the rises in a lot of councils are going to be enormous. 8 councils have put in budgets for and have applied to raise their council tax by 25%. Now, I'm fairly sure that won't get signed off. That won't be allowed. There is a legal cap, and that's miles beyond the legal cap. I think it's about 5 times the legal cap. I think the cap is 5%, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it's 5%. But apparently, many other councils have found loopholes, legal loopholes, and will go beyond that 5% cap. So many people are potentially going to be getting 6, 8, 10, 12%, possibly even more rises in their council tax when they start to come out in the next month or two. Now mine, I believe at the moment, is about £2,800 a year. So if it was to be 10%, that's an extra £280 a year. Or what's that, £22, £23 a month on top of what we're already paying. And then I've seen another article come out today, I think it was on the news actually this evening, saying that some councils are looking to reduce their refuse collection to once a month because they can then apparently better organise their recycling. So just to put those two things together, your council tax is going to go up massively. You're going to be having to pay a load more money to the council for the services they provide, but they're going to reduce the services they provide. So you're paying more for less. And just over a year ago, 18 months ago, Keir Starmer is on camera giving a speech, wearing a white shirt, saying not a penny more on your council tax. And if anyone doubts that, I can send them the link to the video on X if they want. How does that square off? How does Keir Starmer get away with absolutely lying through his teeth? It's absolutely disgusting. And how are people, when times are as tough as they are, when all sorts of taxes going up, going to find, even if it's only 5%, that's still a big rise. But if it's more, 8, 10, 12%. And what happens if those 8 lunatic councils somehow find a legal way to get 25% signed off? Who's going to suddenly pay 25% a month more for their council tax? Absolutely disgusting. Unbelievable.
Now, I like to keep my grass cut, as you can see here. It's not amazing,
but it's cut and it's neat. Now I'd like to show you the council's idea of cutting the grass. Look at this. This is my garden, and at the end of my garden, this is what I have to look at. This. Don't get me wrong, they do come round and cut the grass once every several months, but they never do the whole lot. This is what they did today, and I watched them do it. Yes, they cut round the signpost and then left the rest of it. When they do it, they always do 2 foot in from the edge. And when I asked them why they only do that, they said, because they're encouraging bees. Really? So, to encourage bees, I've got to look out of my front window and see that. Lovely. Now that has to be the worst excuse for not being bothered to cut the grass I've ever heard. Why? Seriously, why? I don't want to hear this nonsense about, oh, we're saving the bees. No, you're not. It's laziness. Why are we paying our council tax? In which case then, if our council tax is paying towards these services that you're doing, then I'll have a reduction on my council tax on behalf of the bees, please. Utterly ludicrous. Just lazy bollocks. That's what it is. Utter bollocks. And now I need another cup of tea.
There's some people are telling me on here in the comments that their council tax is over £400 a month. £400 for what? And then they've gone on to tell me that their bin collection is every 3 weeks to 4 weeks, and some of them 3 to 4 weeks. It used to be every week. I'm sorry, when it's going up that much, that's a mortgage. Over £400 in council tax, that's a fucking mortgage. That is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry, but this has got to stop. You know what's going to happen next year? They're going to put it up. They're going to freeze it for 10 years. I don't know. But this needs to stop. I mean, it's so frustrating because, you know, I thought mine were bad at £275 a month from £250. Well, some poor bastards out there, they're paying a lot more than me. I have my bin collections every 2 weeks. It used to be every week. But, another thing, the brown bin collection, your garden waste, they reckoned that used to be free, but now you have to pay for that as well. It's just unbelievable. When does it end?
So there you have it, folks. Pay more, get less, and don't ask questions. If council tax went up every time a pothole was fixed, we'd be driving on marble by now. Subscribe for more rants straight from the voices of the UK. If you made it this far, you might as well just subscribe and drop a bleeding like. And I'll catch you in the next Meltdown.